Randy Orton beat Chris Jericho. This was a match that honestly came in with not a real big surprise factor to it. I think everybody knew that this was Chris Jericho's last match. He went as far to even announce this on his podcast, telling everybody this would be his last date. He's telling everybody that he had his last Raw, he had his last SmackDown. He's not going to be in WWE anymore. He said that he had a good run and that he will be back, and it will be sooner than later. But he was saying goodbye to go off and do his dream of becoming a rock star. So I think everybody saw Randy Orton beating Chris Jericho tonight. I don't think they were going to repeat the Rob Van Dam versus Randy Orton at Extreme Rules. I can't remember what year that was. Basically, because everybody knew that RVD was leaving, Randy Orton was going to get the win, and then little did you know, surprise, surprise, I believe it was a stretcher match. Rob Van Dam beat Randy Orton, and then Randy Orton gave him a punt to the head for a way of saying thank you for the great match. Orton versus Jericho was a very great match. These guys were on a different level above everybody else. I don't think that it's going to go down as being a better match than Cesaro versus Sheamus, but it honestly is a really, really good match. A match that got a lot of time. I don't know how long that match was, but I would have to guess that it was at least about 20 minutes. The longer the match went, the better it got, and you just hope that the end wasn't coming soon. We saw these guys both use their patented moves. Orton got the draping DDT, which I thought was going to be the end of it. I know that he normally will finish off his moves with the RKO before he gets to 1, 2, 3, but the way that Jericho sold it was like $1 million. Jericho was able to hit the code breaker, and then once he hit that, he went up to the top rope and spent what was like an eternity up there, and I was just yelling RKO, RKO, and Orton finally got up, and he was dazed, and he was looking at the opposite turnbuckle, and he finally turned around, and at that point I thought Chris Jericho was going to hit him with like a flying crossbody, roll him up for the pin, but it turns out Orton was playing possum. Jericho came off the top rope and landed right into an RKO. Orton was able to get the win. 1, 2, 3. And now it's sort of like Orton is moving into a little bit of a lame duck situation. I don't know where he's going. They could do 1,000 things with Seth Rollins. Basically, they did the assurance thing with Seth Rollins and the Authority, where basically they showed that he was, one of them. By standing strong with him after the Dean Ambrose brawl. But you got to wonder if Triple H sent out Seth Rollins to become champion at the end of the show, or if he was acting on his own, and he might have to face consequences for that, which might mean Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton to find out who the top dog of the Authority is. You could do that, but if not for that, I don't really know what you do with Randy Orton. So that's one of the things we got to sit back and wait for Monday Night Raw for.